Hi, welcome to Quixotic.academy. This is Hafsa. In this video, we will discuss the solution of O-Level Computer Science pre-release October-November for paper 23. Let's have a look at the pre-release. So this is a baguette ordering service which allows customers to order filled baguettes. There are two sizes of baguettes, 30 and 15 centimeter. Baguettes are available as white, brown or seeded bread. Baguettes have one filling and can have up to 3 salad items added. It means the size is supposed to be 1, 13 or 15. They are available as white or brown or seeded. The customer will choose from these and the customer will choose from the filling, and the customer can choose up to 3 salad items as well or 0 salad item. Salad items are not necessarily included in the order. Next is customers choose their baguette options. They then confirm the order, alter the choices or choose not to proceed. So it means whenever you take an order, you will ask certain things from the customer. You will ask what should be the size of baguette, what should be the bread type, what should be the filling, what are the salad choices. Then after all these selections, you are going to ask the customer if the customer wants to change the order, or if he wants to confirm the order, or he can choose to cancel the order as well. So these are 3 choices which should be given to the customer. Each day the ordering service calculates the number of each, size of baguette sold, type of bread and filling sold. So these things are calculated daily. Okay, write and test a program or programs for the baguette ordering service. These 3 lines are part of every pre-release, so I should not repeat it, but these are important points. Your error messages should be clear. Your variables, constants, everything should have a meaningful name, and there should be appropriate prompts for everything. Task 1 is about ordering. Customers are given choices on size, type of bread, filling and salad items as shown. So you will ask the customer about the size. He will pick one size. You will validate the input, like it should be a valid size, it should be in the range given. Then you will ask for the type of bread and validate the input. Then you will ask for the filling and validate the input. Then you will ask for salad items. So the customer can totally skip the salad items, or the customer can add 1 salad item, 2 or 3 not more than 3. Only valid choices can be accepted. The customer is asked to confirm their order, alter their choices or choose not to proceed. So this is at the end of all the selection. If the customer confirms their order, they are given a unique order number. So do remember, it should be unique. Display the baguette order and the order number. This is our output part. So let's start writing the pseudocode. I have initialized few arrays for the bread size, bread filling, salad and type. These are constant arrays. These are fixed values. So I have used the names in capital letters. Okay, next is chosen size. The customer will choose one of them and we will put it in the variable chosen size, chosen filling, chosen type, and these all will be integers that will index to the row. For example, index to these arrays. For example, if the customer choose 30 centimeter as a bread size, the chosen size will contain 1 because the index of bread size 30 centimeter is 1. Next, chosen filling will have one of the fillings from these, and chosen type will have one of the types. Next is chosen salad. I have used an array to hold the chosen salad, and I have set it the size of 3 because that's the maximum size allowed. And initially I have put -1 in all 3 locations because the customer is allowed to skip the salad and the customer can choose 1, 2 or 3 any. So initially we have -1, -1, -1. Next is order ID. I have started the order ID with 000. We will keep adding 1 in the order ID whenever any order is processed. Since we know that the ordering service will run all day and people will come and order, so first of all I have put a while loop here. This loop will run all day and it will keep checking the time at each iteration. If the time is greater than or equal to 11:59, then it will break. So this will be the time to start a new loop, start the program again, because all the calculations will be done again. I have asked the user to select bread size from the following and shown the bread sizes from the array in a for loop. Since there are only 2 bread sizes available, so my loop is from 0 to 1, and I have asked the customer to press the number for the bread size. For example, if it is 15 centimeter, the user will enter 0. If it is 30 centimeter, user will enter 1. I'll take the choice, and then okay, this part will be used later, so let me remove it. Okay, the input is taken in the variable choice. Then we will check choice should be 0 or it should be 1. If it is not 0 and it is not 1, then it means the input is not valid. We are going to ask for the input again. This is a prompt which is understandable that the customer is supposed to press 0 or 1. Then when the choice variable is validated that the correct input has arrived, then we will set the input in chosen size variable. Similarly, we will do for the filling and for the bread type. Since there are 3 bread types, so our loop will be from 0 to 2, 0, 1 and 2 will be the iterations, and the bread filling are 6, so our loop will go from 0 to 5. There were a lot of items to validate from for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I have changed the condition here. Choice should be, if choice is less than 0, it is not valid, and if choice is greater than 5, then it is not valid. So my while loop will work like that. Since there are too many options, I'm going to display all the choices again. After the choice is validated, it has been put in the variable chosen filling. Let's try run our code and see how the variables are changing. First of all, the customer will see all the bread sizes 15 and 30 centimeter. The customer will enter a choice. For example, the customer entered 0. It means the chosen size will hold 0. And then we'll show all the bread types to the customer. Bread types are brown, white and seeded. If the customer selects brown bread type, the chosen type will hold 1 because the index of brown is 1 in the bread type array. Same process is followed for the bread filling. We show the customer 6 fillings. 6 fillings are beef, chicken, cheese, egg, tuna. The spellings are wrong here, it's not tune, and turkey. So for example, the customer has chosen turkey. Turkey means the index of turkey is 5 and the array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means chosen filling will hold the value of 5. Next part is little tricky. Since the salad is not a mandatory option, so we will ask the customer if would you like to add salad. The customer will press Y if he wants to add the salad, else he will press N, and we don't have to do anything if Y is not pressed. So if the choice is Y, then we will show the customer all the options for bread salad, and we will tell him that he can choose up to 3 salads. Okay, so when we are taking the input, we are again going to use a for loop because this is the maximum size the chosen salad array can hold items of. So my loop will iterate from 0, 1 and 2. I'll take the choice, and if choice is -1 is to finish, then we will break the loop. Break means it will break this for loop. Or if the choice is not -1, it will go here, and the condition for the while loop is checked. If choice is less than 0 or choice is greater than 4, it means the choice is not valid. We will again show all the items here and ask the customer to press a number again. We'll enter a choice and we will add that choice in our chosen salad array. You see, this way, using this for loop and this break statement, the customer can choose 1, 2 or 3. Any number, it's up to him, and the customer cannot choose more than 3 items because for loop will automatically stop. So we have done the task till this part. We have asked the customer for the choices on size, type of bread, filling and salad items. We have validated the choices. Next task is the customer is asked to confirm the order, alter the choices or choose not to proceed. After all the selection, we have prompted the customer to enter 0 for checkout, 1 to order the order and 2 to cancel the order. We will check if the choice is 0. The order should be order ID plus 1. We have assigned a unique order number, and we will say that you have ordered following, and we will show everything. So bread size means the chosen size is the index to the bread size array, chosen type was indexed to the bread type array, and chosen filling was indexed to the bread filling array. But bread salad can be an array of 3 items. We have used a for loop here, and the for loop will start from 0 till the length of chosen salad, which is 3. Anyways, so we will then take the content in the chosen salad array. For example, at the 0th iteration, whatever is placed at the 0th index of chosen salad array, may it be the index of lettuce, may it be the index of sweet corn, that index is extracted and put in the variable s. We will again check if s is not -1, because initially we put -1 in all the places, and -1 was only changed if the customer selected something. So we are going to check it here. If it is not -1, it means the customer has selected something, and that will then be used as an index to bread salad array. So let me dig in more about this. For example, the customer has chosen sweet corn, cucumber and peppers. So the indexes in the chosen salad array would be 0, 1, 2, 4 and 5. So instead of -1, there would be 2, 4 and 5. When this loop is initialized, first index of chosen salad will hold 2. So s is 2, s is not -1, so s will be used, 2 will be used as an index to bread salad array, and bread salad array at index 2 has sweet corns, so sweet corns will be printed. We will also print the order ID, but if the choice is 2, we will say that your order has been cancelled. 2 means the order is cancelled. If the customer selects third option, we have to continue taking the order again. So you see, we have to validate this choice, this input as well. I have added the validation loop at the top, then we have processed the choice variable. Okay, now how are we going to ask the customer to update the order? How are we going to process this task? Update means you are going to take all the choices again, like you are going to ask for the size again, you are going to ask for the bread type again, you are going to ask for the bread filling again. The difference is, this time the customer can skip anything. The customer can skip changing the bread size, the customer can skip changing the bread type. So we have to add an option to skip that part as well. Otherwise it's same like selecting all the items. To add that functionality, these variables will help me. Initially these variables are -1. So if nothing was selected and we are still in the process of order completion for the first time, these variables will hold -1. And if we are in the process of updating the order, these variables will not be holding -1. They will be holding some index value from these arrays. So I'll use these variables in my if statements to check if it is updation time or if it is order selection time. Also, we are supposed to go back to the whole above process. Here, whenever the choice was 0, we want to go back to the top. How are we going to do that? We are going to add another while loop here. So while true loop will help us in the scenarios where we don't know about the conditions, the conditions are too complex, we just want to use a break statement to get out of the loop. In those cases, while true loop is very beneficial. So I'm going to add a while true loop again to the whole selection process till here. Till here. It's inside the outer while loop. The outer while loop will work all day, and this inner while loop will work only for one customer. When the customer has completed the order and he is checking out, this will break. Break statement breaks the most inner loop it is in. I have added the spaces here to distinguish between these two loops. I have updated the code to tackle the updation part as well. So if chosen item is not -1, it means this time the loop is running for the updation, and I have changed the prompt to update instead of select, and I have also given the choice to skip this updation, which is -1. The other print statement is same. We will show all the sizes. We will take the input, then we will check if the input is -1. If the input is -1, it means the customer wants to skip updation, but we do have to see if -1 is wrong input from the selection process or if it is correct input from the updation process. So we are going to use this variable here as well. If the chosen size is not -1, it means the customer has already some size selected in the order and now he wants to skip updating that size. It means we can break from this while true loop, but we don't want to break from this while true loop because we want to continue updating the bread type. It means we are again going to add a loop here. This while loop will be per item. For example, for all the bread sizes, one while loop. For all the bread type, for updation of bread type, one while loop, and for the updation of salad choices, one while loop. So there are a lot of while loops. Don't get panic. It is updated now. So this means it will break from this while loop if the choice is -1 and the customer already has selected something as a size. This while loop will break and the program will continue to ask for the bread type. We don't want to break from this while loop. So let me again remind you, this while loop is because we want the program to run all day. This while loop is because we want to this is for one customer. If the customer in the first iteration, customer will select all the items, and if he wants to update the items, this loop will run again. And this while loop is only for the bread sizes. If the customer wants to select the bread size for the first time, this loop will run, and if the customer wants to skip it in the second iteration of this loop will be broken. I hope you understood. When the customer is ordering for the first time, this will not work, so it means that there is no break statements for this loop, and the while true means the loop has to run forever. So whenever the size has been chosen, we will put a break statement. Do remember to put it here, because if the order of bread size is complete, we will break from this loop, and if the customer wants to skip, we will again break from this loop. Another important thing is to initialize your variables inside this while loop, because the chosen size, chosen filling and chosen type will it is supposed to be set -1 before every order, before each order. One customer has ordered everything and he goes, it should be set to -1 again. But order ID will not be put inside this per customer loop, because order ID will start from the 12 at the 12 AM. It should be 000, and it should be incremented whole day, so it will remain outside all the loops, but this will come inside the all day loop. We applied the same loops for the bread type and for the bread filling. Next comes the salad options. We don't have to use a loop here. The reason is salad options are optional, and we already gave the customer the choice to skip, to finish. So if in case of update or in case of selection, in both ways, if the user comes here and he wants to update the salad options, we are going to set the chosen salad array to -1, and he will select from these. Suppose the customer has already chosen some salads and he wants to skip this process, then he will press N here and he will not come here to select it again. So it does not have to change, we just have to reinitialize it like this. One more thing we can do is, if the user is going for updation, we can print this here to show the user what was the selection before. Task 2 is to record totals for the size, types of bread, fillings sold that day, and calculate the total number of baguettes sold that day. So we are going to make some new arrays, some new variables. These are my new variables. Total baguettes starts from 0 since we want to update these each day, so it is outside our daily loop. And total sizes, since there are 2 sizes, so total sizes is also of size 2. At this 0 means 15 centimeter of breads are ordered 0 times, and this 0 means 30 centimeter. Total types, there are 3 types. So this 0 represents the total number for white, this 0 represents the total number for brown, and this 0 represents the total number for seeded, and same is the case for filling. Next, we want to update the records. For whenever the customer buys something, we want to update the size array, the types array, and the fillings array, and add one to the total baguettes sold. We will do this at the end where the customer has chosen to check out and the order is fully complete, order ID is assigned. Here we will update all the totals. Since the chosen size is the index of the chosen size, for example, chosen size is 0 for 15 centimeter, so total sizes also represents 15 centimeter at the 0th index, so the updation will work correctly. Task 3 is about finding the most and least popular baguettes filling. Using your results from task 2, display the most popular and least popular fillings as a percentage of the total number of baguettes sold that day. Since it has to be shown at the end of each day, so when the time reaches, we will print everything before breaking the loop. First, we want to calculate the highest sold fillings and the lowest sold fillings. So we know that total fillings array has totals for all the fillings. Index 0 means totals for the beef filling, index 1 means totals for the chicken filling, like that. So we are supposing that at 0th index, whatever the total is, that is highest and that is also lowest. This is a technique to find highest and lowest numbers. You must have done it in solving past paper questions or in doing end of chapter questions. So initially I'll say whatever is at 0th index is the highest value and the lowest value. Since we do need to have an index because we want to point to the fillings array and we want to print which filling was, like we want to print if chicken was, if the beef was the highest, so we are dealing with the index here. This will be very useful. Okay, so next I will run a loop from 1 to 5 because 0 is already selected and been put in the H index and L index. So we will run the loop from 1 to 5. Now I'll say if total fillings I is greater than total fillings highest index, it means if this value is higher, then I need to change my highest index to this index because now this index points to the highest value. For example, I have written an example here. So initially my H index and my L index are zeros, it means 12 is the highest value. Next the loop comes here and loop will start from 1, so it will check the first index in total fillings array. At the first index it is 30. It will check if total fillings 30, if total fillings 1 is greater than total fillings 0. H index has 0, so these two values are compared and yes, 30 is greater than 12. So now after this if condition, my H index is 1 because the value stored at the first index is higher than my previous higher index value. And similarly we will check if it is less than the lower index. It is not less than the lower index, so this will not work and this else it will be skipped. Again for loop will iterate. Again my I would be 2 and there is 10, so this part is wrong, this condition is false, but this condition is true. Now why? Because total fillings 2 has 10 in it and total fillings L index is 0, so total fillings 0 has 12 in it. So 10 is less than 12, it means my new L index is 2. Similarly in the next iteration my index is 3. At the third index 40 is located and this condition is true now. Previously my H index was 2 But after this iteration, my age index has become 3 and this condition is false, so this else if will not be executed. Now they want us to show the most popular and least popular fillings as a percentage of total number of baguettes sold that day. So this time I am printing the least popular filling using this index. I will get the name of the filling from the bread filling array, then I'll find the percentage. Percentage is calculated using this formula. We need total baguettes and we will multiply the total with 100 and divide by total baguettes. This was the complete solution for the pre-release material O-Level Computer Science variant 2.3. You can easily implement this in any high-level programming language like Python, VB or C or Java, whatever you have chosen. Do comment if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel for more computer science related stuff.